Missouri versus Alabama. There's only one thing I could think about in this game. When I look at Missouri versus Alabama, there's only one thing that comes to mind for me. What team do you trust more? You know, you look at Missouri, and it's interesting. I don't care that it's against Auburn. But last week, your starting quarterback, per Eli Drinkwitz, has to go to the hospital, gets an MRI. He's good to go. He comes back. He leads you to a victory, and you win. Guys, that's awesome. I don't care what anybody says. It is very awesome that Brady Cook gets hurt, goes to the hospital, comes back, and goes, hey, man, I'm ready to go. Let's go win this thing. I don't give two Rudy Poos who it's against. I don't care that it was against Auburn. It could have been against a school of the deaf and blind. Doesn't matter to me. Brady Cook coming back and winning that football game. Dude, that's just awesome. But, man, I just don't know how much I trust Missouri. The passing attack, what we thought would be really good this year, has been very lackluster. You're 50th in the country in passing yards. And every time that you've gone up against a good opponent, you've had issues. Your offensive line has had issues. And even though everybody wants to talk about Alabama, this D-line has still shown that they can be really good at getting after a passer. Just ask Nico last week and some of the beatings that he took. I look at them running the football. You know, I like Marcus Carroll. I like Noel. I know that you've been beat up in some of those areas. And what is the status of Noel going into this game? But, man, you've been about average against some opponents outside of A&M that aren't that great. You haven't been able to execute off of the talent that you have offensively. And do I think that you have good talent? Yeah, I think Brady Cook's a pretty serviceable quarterback. I think you should have a good running game. Your wide receiving core should be really good. But your O-line has really struggled in moments. But Blake, I know what you're saying, but Blake, Alabama has not been good either, my guy. You know what? You're right. They have been struggling too. Alabama is coming off a very tough loss against Tennessee. Now, I don't know. I have my opinions and thoughts about what's going on with them. And I think that when you say them out loud, it's going to come off as it being excuses. Like, I think that we didn't account for the 30 players that walked out of the door for Alabama and some of the losses that they have. And now you have a whole regime change. The greatest coach of all time is not in that building anymore. And look, man, they've been out-coached. They've been out-executed. They've been out-schemed. Things have been bad for them in certain situations. You know, they tried to run the football last week against Tennessee, and they got stuffed. I still think they can run the ball on Missouri. I don't think that the top 10 unit that they have defensively, statistically, I think that that's a little bit of a false. Like, I don't trust in that. But they don't have an identity offensively right now. I think Jalen Milroe, whether it's going to be said or whether it's ever sourced, and this is just what my eyeballs see, I think that he might be playing hurt. He certainly looks like he's playing hurt. You're not playing to the strengths of him. Guys, last week against Tennessee, they dropped back 45 times. He had 45 passing attempts. What team do you trust the most in this game? Where's this game being played? Guys, I know what the stats tell me, and I know what everything tells me around this game. But what do my eyeballs tell me? What does my gut tell me? My gut tells me is that I don't trust Missouri more than I trust Alabama. And when I look at Alabama, I know that their fan base is probably in a situation where they don't want to hear what I'm about to say. You still have a lot to play for. Your season is not over. And I would like, what I want to say is going to come off as a shot, and it's not. But welcome to reality. Welcome to reality of what every other fan base in the country feels. This is what it feels like. The feeling that you have right now, you have not had really in 2 decades. Welcome to the reality of having 2 losses before November 1st. There's a 12-team playoff, and you're statistically and mathematically not out of it. We saw you in a half in a first half versus Georgia where you arguably looked like one of the best teams in the country, if not the best team in the country. And look what Georgia did to Texas this last week. You have gotten away from who you were. I do think that defensively you're getting outcoached. Look, man, I think Kane Womack did not call a bad game last week versus Tennessee, but as the stretch and as the game continued to go on, you made 0 adjustments. And the book is out on you defensively. It's out on you. And I fear that a team that has the capacity to really throw the football on you, you know, Carson Beck's really struggled. I don't look at Georgia's, well, we faced Carson Beck. No, you have not faced a Luther Burden with a quarterback that can be consistent like Brady Cook. Sorry, you haven't. I mean, in the 2 premier matchups that Carson Beck has had this year, he's got 6 picks and 2 touchdowns. He's playing bad overall football. The thing is that Missouri has not shown a pulse that they can be consistent throwing the football, and I still think that you can have success. When I look at this game and I look at this matchup, when is it going to be the time? When is it going to be the moment that you finally are in a situation where Bama makes a stand and makes a statement? My eyeballs tell me that they should go into this game and win, but you're playing up and down to the level of your opponent. You are. I just got to lean Bama. My gut tells me Bama. My mind tells me Bama. Watch Missouri win. You're not out of it. And for Missouri, this isn't a shot at you. I just have no faith in you. When you're getting in a dogfight with Auburn, you can't even establish the run game when Brady Cook is in there. It's a problem. It's a problem. So I know that it's a Monday, and I know a lot of things can change, and my opinion can change on this game. Give me Alabama to win this football game because I just, for as crazy as it sounds, I trust them more than Missouri. Okay.